Into order at this time, and the first thing that we need to do is to approve the agenda.
So moved.
A motion by Mr. Destin,
I'll second.
second by Dr. Kelly. Any discussion? Hearing or seeing none, let's vote. All in favor? Motion carries 5-0. At this point, Mr. McInnes, I'll go ahead and turn the meeting over to you, sir, so you can lead us through the proper steps.
Yes, sir. The school board is in session to conclude the hearing regarding case 19-01, which is William Andrew Johnson's petitioner versus the School District of Okaloosa County, Florida, as respondent. This morning, we have two procedural matters for the record that we want to take first. First, let me announce for the record that the school board members present for this hearing are Ms. Ivanchek, Dr. Kelly, Dr. White, Mr. Bryant, and Mr. Destin. And I'm Jeff McInnes, the school board attorney. First, I would ask each board member, as part of our record, I would ask you to disclose whether you've had any ex parte communications relating to the merits of this case that you've had since the date the appeals hearing was officially requested, which was February 12th, 2019. That's the date when the Chapter 120 proceedings would have been triggered. And Ms. Ivanchek, I would ask you, have you had any ex parte communications from any persons or parties relating to the Andy Johnson matter?
No, sir.
Well, you had some emails?
Yes. No verbal
Okay, so
communication at all.
Simply
Just,
be in writing? They
excuse
were
me?
just written communications?
No, only emails,
Right,
yeah.
yes,
Mhm.
okay. So if
Yep.
you would please simply submit those for the record.
Okay, all right, yeah.
And let me ask you, and I'll ask each of you the same question, is anything about those communications caused you to be biased, prejudiced, or unable to judge this matter fairly based upon the evidence that was presented?
No,
Okay. Dr. Kelly, the same question for you. Did you have any ex parte communications?
The only thing I have are email exchanges from friends.
Okay, all right, and
I'll
we'll have you
pass
submit
those.
those for the record.
Absolutely.
And did those cause you to be biased, prejudiced, or unable to judge the case fairly on the evidence presented?
Not in any way.
Okay, Dr. White, the same question for you.
Only the emails that I've received from, I think, supporters of, in this case, an individual. And I'll tell you that I was a little bit conflicted about that because as an elected official, I've always felt like that it was my responsibility to communicate with constituents. But in this matter, because it is what it is, I only received emails and did not reply to those emails. So it was kind of a one-way communication.
Okay, and did those communications cause you in any way to be biased, prejudiced, or unable to judge fairly this case?
No.
Mr. Bryant, the same question for you.
Yes, just the emails that I received, and likewise, Dr. White, what Dr. White said, I did not respond, even though I did receive, and, as an elected official, that was something that, I tried to respond, but in this case, since it was already something that we were dealing with, I did not respond.
And did those communications cause you to be biased, prejudiced, or unable to fairly rule on this matter?
No, sir.
Mr. Destin, the same question for you.
And I have the same emails we received through the district's server, I believe,
Okay,
mostly in favor,
okay,
and they did not cause me to be biased, in my opinion.
okay. And so we'll submit those email then for the record today's proceeding. And then secondly, a final order has been prepared in accordance with your directions at the conclusion of the last proceeding. And I would ask, as each board member had an opportunity to review the draft final order and also to review the full transcript record of the hearing. Ms. Ivanchek,
yes, sir, I have.
Dr. Kelly,
I have.
Dr. White,
Yes.
Mr. Bryant?
Yes.
And Mr. Destin?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, those are the procedural matters, so the proposed final order is now in front of the board for consideration.
And so you require a motion?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Need a motion, board members?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Bryant.
I'll second it.
Second by Ms. Ivanchek. Any discussion? Hearing or seeing none, let's vote. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries 4-1.
And that's the only business you're in session to conduct this morning, Mr. Chairman.
All right. This meeting is adjourned.